नमस्कार सभी को. This video we will be continuing double entry system. I will be discussing the nature of accounts along with their rules. I hope you have gone through my last video where I had discussed in brief the nature of accounts, what is a double entry system, and who is the father of double entry system. Few things mentioned there. So let's continue. As you can see, there are two aspects of any transactions, right? Debit and credit. And we have three types of account: personal, real, and nominal. So here, as you can see, I have made four columns, right? First, I have written personal, real, and nominal. Personal account represents any person's names. Okay. Real account, we have gone through the examples earlier also, like assets and all comes cash, furniture, machinery. In personal, it comes Mr. X or Ram, Shyam, Sony, person's names, and artificial persons or individuals company's name can be written. And nominal, it is all about the expenses and incomes. So what to debit under personal? The rule says the receiver is to be debited and the giver is to be credited. Now let's look into the example. Paid to Mr. X. The question says paid to Mr. That means cash is paid to Mr. X. If nothing is mentioned, we will assume that cash is paid. So here Mr. X is the receiver because we are paying cash to Mr. X. Therefore X becomes the receiver. So as per the rule, the receiver should be debited. Therefore Mr. X is debited to cash account because here we are giving the cash. In the same manner, second example, received from Mr. X. X is a personal account and here Mr. X is the giver. Therefore, the rule says the giver should be credited. Hence, cash account debited to X because X here is giver. Second column, real account. What comes in is debited, what goes out is credited. So, for example, furniture purchased for cash. Here you see furniture comes in. Therefore, what comes in that place you understand with the transaction that furniture comes in. Therefore, furniture is debited to cash account because here cash is paid out, cash goes out. Hence, furniture account debited to cash account because the rule says what comes in should be debited and what goes out should be credited. Then nominal, the third one. Here all the expenses and losses should be debited and incomes and gains should be credited. Let's see how. The question says paid salary. If nothing is mentioned, so it will be assumed that salary is paid in cash. Since salary is an expense because we are paying here, therefore salary will be debited because it's represent cash expense, and credit will be to cash because cash belongs to the real account and the real account rule says what goes out should be credited. Cash is going out, hence cash will be credited. Another example, commission received. Here commission is an income, right? Therefore, cash account debited because cash is coming in the form of commission. As I say, if nothing mentioned clearly, it is assumed that cash is received. Cash is received in the form of commission. So cash account debit to commission account. Cash because what comes in is debited and commission is credited. The reason it represents incomes. These debit and credit which I have written, like in personal, the debit should be the receiver, credit should be the giver. Real, what comes in should be debited, what goes on should be credited. Nominal, expense and losses should be debited and incomes and gains should be credited. These are called golden rules in double entry system. These are the golden rules of the accounting which you must know and you must learn it. Based on this, all the questions will be practiced under lesson journal where you have to pass entries.